Hello, my friends, and welcome to How About a Story Season 4, following The Big Bad Wolf, a true crime investigation in Fairytale Land. This is Episode 7. If you need to catch up, go ahead and start with Episode 1, The Wolf and the Dog, and we will be here when you get back. Small announcement, this is our last episode for the season, but we will be back in the summer with all new stories. So make sure you are subscribed so you will always be up to date. And if you want to support the show, you can go to www.buymeacoffee.com/howaboutastory and give an offering. Your contribution will help keep the stories coming, and you will even get a shout out at the top of the show. And speaking of shout-outs, I would like to give a big thank you to Jan Czar for being the very first person to buy me a cup of coffee. Thank you so much for your generosity, and your contribution will go towards keeping this pod going. Thank you. Before we dive in, this episode contains disturbing sounds of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, this is Red.
Hi, Red. This is Isaura. Practical passed me your number and said that I can call and talk to you about...
Oh, yeah, I know you. Practical told me all about you. He said you're doing a podcast about the Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah, I'm doing research on how he just might be the very first serial killer in Fairytale Land.
Well, I mean, he might have been the first, but he's definitely not the last. I mean, that's just how it is here in Fairytale Land. It's a constant battle between good and evil. We have our share of evil stepmothers, wicked witches. Evil's no stranger to these lands, so why talk about the wolf now?
Well, for starters, what happened to him? After he attacked you, there hasn't been any more sightings. He just went silent, and to this day we don't know whether he's alive or dead. Doesn't that bother you?
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, I feel like he's out there somewhere. You know, during our encounter, we got him good. The huntsman who just happened to be around fired several shots as he ran into the woods. I always thought maybe he died in the forest, but after the Queen's men searched the forest, they never found his body.
Red, I am in awe of your bravery, and that was a really intense situation you were involved in. How did you survive?
If it wasn't for my red hood, I definitely would have joined Granny. I mean, something inside me told me to not take it off. But I had no idea that Granny had cast a protection spell on it long ago. He grabbed me and his claws dug deep into my arms and he opened his mouth and I really thought that was the end. But flames leapt out of the cloak and into his mouth and down his throat. It burnt him from the inside out and he howled so painfully, and so he ran down the stairs and out the door screaming and howling. I wrapped myself tightly with my red hood, and I followed behind him calling for help. Luckily, there were a few huntsmen nearby, and one of them, Seth, he had a gun, and he aimed to kill that wolf as he ran back into the forest. I mean, it sounded like he was shot, but like I said, his body was never found.
I can't even imagine the horror.
It was so much to go through, to think about, to deal with. How do you even function after something like that? Well, they put me in a protection program because he'd just done so much damage, and I thought for sure he was going to be after me again. But nothing happened. I had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to realize that I never want to be in that situation again. No one should ever be in that situation. So I vowed I would come back. I would come back and I would help the community, because this shouldn't be happening. So I left the program. I came back home, I claimed Granny's house, and now I am a PI and I'm working with Seth to train all the people in Fairyland how to defend themselves. In fact, I've been working with Practical and we've been doing our own investigation on Zeke.
Really? Is there any way we can work together?
Yeah, of course. We want this wolf found.
Well, when can we meet up?
We've been holding monthly meetings around town, so tonight it's at my place, so why don't you come on by and I'll show you everything.
Oh, great. What's your address?
This is Pam.
You're not gonna believe this, but I found Little Red Riding Hood.
Shut up.
I'm speechless. My brain is going 1,000 miles per hour.
Wow.
And she's living in her granny's house.
I can't believe this is actually happening.
But she seems really well adjusted on the phone, considering what she's been through. She's even created a survivors group for residents of Fairytale Land who have been attacked by the big bad wolf. Check this out. She holds monthly meetings that rotate from house to house, and she has a meeting at her place tonight. She gave me directions on how to get there, so I am on my way now, and I'll keep you in the loop as things progress.
Oh, wait, so you're back in town right now?
Uh-huh.
Alone?
This is so important, I just had to get back ASAP.
Look, you know we shouldn't be doing field work without the buddy system. Now, I understand this is new information and you're so close, but just give me the address. I can meet you there. There's no reason to be out there alone in a potentially dangerous investigation.
I understand. Here's the address. Thank you so much. What's the damage?
Mein Liebchen. The fare has already been collected. But remember to stay safe out in these woods, yeah? I heard these trees.
Oh,
talk.
Okay, but who covered the ride? Oh. Wow. Oh, this park is beautiful. No, this isn't a park. This is the Enchanted Forest. The same forest that Red Riding Hood walked through several years ago and Sleeping Beauty walked through here. So pretty. Look at these butterflies and fairies. Oh, it's so magical. Oh, I could stay here for hours. I wish I had some music or, I don't know. Na, 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 na. Well, the driver did say the trees talk. I should hurry up. Oh, what are the rest of the directions? Let me see. Okay, so here we are. This says... So we're at the end of the wood, and so she's in the first house of the village near the windmill, and there's the windmill. All right, let's continue on. Hey, Red, it's Isaura. We spoke on the phone yesterday.
Ah, yes. Come in. Press your finger on the latch, then push, and the door opens.
Red, are you okay? I mean, you sound like you've gotten a cold since we spoke last.
Oh, yes.
I must have caught something last night. Please, shut the door well, my little lamb. Come into the sitting room with me, and let's have some tea.
Oh, Red, do you have allergies? What big eyes you have.
Because I am so excited to talk about the big bad wolf.
Red?
Enough with your investigation.
No! Oh!
Isaura Venegas was reported missing when she didn't return home from her trip to Fairytale Land to interview Red. She was last seen by Hansel, the carriage driver, when she was dropped off at the Enchanted Forest. If you have any information about Isaura's whereabouts, please call the tip line at 661-544-8226. No piece of information is too small. We are all very concerned and working around the clock not to let this case go cold. Thank you for listening to How About a Story Season 4, Following the Big Bad Wolf, a true crime investigation in Fairytale Land. A big thanks goes out to the cast for helping bring this story to life. Mary Lou Mendel, playing Red Riding Hood, Gina Rosa Levy, playing Pam, Mike Kaz, playing the carriage driver, and Christian Stokes as the Big Bad Wolf. Make sure to stop by the show's Instagram for more information and updates on future stories, at How About a Story. In addition to playing herself, the narrator, this podcast was produced, written, directed, recorded, and edited by Isaura Venegas. Until next time, what stories will you be getting into?